You ever look at a redwood and think, why is this the biggest thing left? Because it shouldn't be, not even close. There are stumps out there, flat top mesas, weird plateaus in the middle of nowhere, that if you actually look at them, really look at them, they don't look like rock formations, they look like something got cut down, something enormous. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. I'm warning you right now, this video might ruin nature documentaries for you forever. What's going on, everyone? Today we're going somewhere weird, somewhere I honestly hesitated to make a video about because every time I brought it up to friends, they looked at me like I'd lost my mind, but then I showed them the photos and they got real quiet. We're talking about giant trees, not redwoods, not sequoias. I mean trees that would make a sequoia look like a houseplant, trees that may have once been thousands of feet tall. And the question nobody seems to want to answer, why are they all gone? Who cut them? And what didn't they want us to know? Let's start with Devil's Tower in Wyoming. You know it, big flat top rock column featured in close encounters of the third kind. Iconic. Now pull up a photo of a tree stump, a regular one, in your backyard. Look at the vertical striations, the way the bark pattern lines up, the hexagonal cracking on the flat surface. Now look at Devil's Tower again. I'll wait. Yeah, you see it now, don't you? The columns running vertically, identical to the fiber structure of wood. The top, flat, like something sliced clean through it. The base, wider, exactly how a trunk flares out at the roots. But that's just basalt columns, it's volcanic. Is it though? Because here's what's strange. We find these formations all over the world. Flat-top mountains in South Africa, mesas in Arizona, the tepuis in Venezuela, all with that same vertical column structure, all flat on top like something was harvested. And mainstream geology says lava cooled in hexagonal patterns. Okay, sure, but why does cooled lava look exactly like wood fiber under a microscope? Why does it match so perfectly that you can overlay the two images and they're practically identical? I'm not saying I have the answer. I'm saying the question is more interesting than anyone's letting on. And I use that term loosely because academia won't touch this with a 10-foot pole, suggests that in Earth's ancient past, before whatever cataclysm reset things, trees weren't made of carbon-based cellulose like today. They were silicon-based. Silicon dioxide, quartz, stone. That's insane. Is it? We already know petrified wood exists. Trees that literally turned to stone over millions of years, preserving every ring, every fiber, every cell in perfect mineral detail. That's accepted science. That's in museums. Kids go on field trips to see it. So we accept that trees can become stone. We just refuse to consider that some stone formations might have once been trees. The petrified forests we find, Arizona, Argentina, Greece, those trees are big. Some are over 200 feet long, but they're horizontal, fallen. What about the ones that didn't fall? What about the ones that stayed standing so long they became part of the landscape itself, part of what we now call geology? Okay, let's assume for a second, just play along, humor me, that ancient giant trees existed, thousands of feet tall, silicon-based, harder than anything we deal with today. Why cut them down? Theory 1, resources. Silicon is the backbone of modern technology. Semiconductors, chips, solar panels, glass, fiber optics. What if these ancient tree structures were mined, not as trees, but as raw material deposits? What if deforestation happened on a scale we can't even conceptualize? So long ago that nobody remembers it as deforestation. Theory 2, control. Giant trees of that scale would have created their own ecosystems, their own weather patterns, their own oxygen output capable of supporting life forms we can't imagine with current atmospheric composition. Remove the trees, thin the atmosphere, shrink everything that lives in it. Theory 3, and this is the one that keeps me up, they didn't want us to know how big things used to be. Because if the world was once home to structures that massive, that alive, that ancient, then whoever cut them down had technology that dwarfs anything we currently possess. And that raises questions about history that nobody in power wants asked. Now let's bring it to today, because here's what's interesting about modern governments and giant trees. Old growth forests are disappearing. Right now, today, the USDA approved clear cutting in the Black Hills. Ancient forests across the Pacific Northwest have been logged for decades despite protest. Globally, old growth timber, the biggest, oldest trees still standing, are being removed at an alarming rate. The official reasons: wildfire prevention, beetle infestation, economic necessity, infrastructure safety. And look, some of those reasons are real. I'm not saying every logging operation is a shadowy conspiracy, but I am saying it's curious that the biggest, oldest trees are always the targets. Not saplings, not mid-growth, the ancients, the ones with root networks spanning acres underground, the ones that communicate chemically with other trees, the ones scientists are only now beginning to understand function as neural networks, literal organic internet systems exchanging information and resources. You're telling me we understand that trees are networked, intelligent, communicative organisms, and the response is to cut down the oldest nodes in the network? That's not forest management. That's something else. Let's dream for a second. Just picture it. A world where trees reach 3, 4, 5,000 feet into the sky, their canopies creating a second sky of green, filtering light into emerald columns. Root systems so vast they stabilize entire tectonic plates. Oxygen production so dense the air itself feels thick, almost liquid, supporting insects the size of dogs, animals the size of buildings. Oh wait, we have fossil evidence of exactly that. Meganeura dragonflies with 2-foot wingspans, because atmospheric oxygen was higher. Why was it higher? What was producing that much oxygen? You're told it was swampy conditions and algae, or it was trees the size of skyscrapers breathing life into a world we've been systematically taught never existed. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm genuinely not. Half of this might be pattern recognition gone haywire. Humans see faces in clouds and trees in rock formations because our brains are wired that way. But here's what I do believe. We accept geological explanations without questioning them the same way medieval peasants accepted the church without questioning it. Someone in authority said, "That's basalt," and we said, "Okay," and moved on with our lives. What if we stopped doing that? What if we looked at the world like children again with fresh eyes and asked, but why does that rock look exactly like a tree stump, and didn't accept "because shut up" as an answer? The worst that happens is we learn more about geology. The best that happens, we rewrite history. Either way, we win. I want you to do something for me. Next time you're driving through the desert or hiking near a mesa, or you see a flat-topped mountain in the distance, look at it. Look at the vertical lines, look at the flat top. Look at how the base widens, and just sit with that feeling, that little tickle in your brain that says, that's curiosity. And nobody, no government, no textbook, no algorithm gets to take that from you. All right, that's the video. If you made it this far, you're either a fellow lunatic or a geologist typing an angry comment. Either way, drop a like, subscribe if you want more rabbit holes, and share this with someone who's never looked at Devil's Tower the same way twice. I'll see you in the next one. Go outside and hug a tree while we still have them.